In 2010, Congress passed a law called the Pedestrian Safety Enhancement Act. It laid out new rules for certain vehicles. The Department of Transportation looked at a lot of factors, including the extra costs for car companies, and now they're planning to put these rules in effect. So why is the government making noise about cars that don't make enough?
They're green, fuel efficient, but too quiet and a potential threat to cyclists and pedestrians. That's what the Department of Transportation says about hybrid and electric cars. The federal agency just proposed rules that would require new green vehicles make sounds loud enough to alert pedestrians and cyclists like George Abbott.
I have experience going alongside them and not realizing that there was one there.
It's what's under the hood that makes these hybrid and electric cars so quiet on the road. This Nissan Leaf already has technology similar to what the government wants in all electric and hybrid cars. Do you hear that sound? Well, the government believes it could save lives. Eddie George sells the vehicles at Dark Cars in Maryland.
The car is very quiet. You cannot hear anything. So, I mean, you have some people, when they're coming to test drive the car, is the car on?
But a flip of a switch and its pedestrian alert feature turns on. Without the feature, a much quieter drive.
I think that would help, but I think, I think people just need to pay more attention.
DOT says the sounds would need to be loud enough to still be heard despite other street and ambient noises when the vehicle is traveling under 18 miles per hour. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates the proposal would mean 2,800 fewer pedestrian and cyclist injuries per year.
When it comes to being better, what's better? Being better or worse?
Better!
Okay, and what are you better at?
I'm better at telling jokes.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Queen.
Queen who?
Queen, my dishes, please.
Clean.
It's Queen to make it funny.
He doesn't get it.
It's not complicated. Better is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest and now most reliable 4G LTE network.
Honey?
Yeah?
Do you know what this light switch does?
Which one?
The one on the right.
I never used that one.
All right, will you look?
Yep.
On, off. On?
No.
Well, are you looking?
Yes.
Off. On, off. On, off. On, off. On, off.
Life comes at you fast. When it does, nobody covers your car like Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
You won't run into the top 10 appliance brands just anywhere. Only Sears carries them all. This is the top 10 advantage. This is Sears.
Life comes at you fast. Be ready with Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
The world waits upon they that go down to the sea in ships. What? Well, it's like this. So many of the things we use every day, from phones to shoes to cars, they've traveled the major shipping lanes of the world to get wherever you are. Think giant cruise ships, but instead of pools and restaurants, they're stacked with thousands of multicolored boxes of cargo that float on ships across the sea and then head to your area on the cars of trains and wheels of tractor trailers. There could be a new boat docked at some of Asia's busiest ports in the day ahead, and it has one major feature that separates it from every other boat in the sea. It's bigger, like 1.5 times longer than the Titanic bigger.
From the world's biggest shipping container company comes the world's biggest ship. This is the maiden voyage of the Maersk McKinney Moller. It's a monster. From where I'm standing here next to the bow to the propellers at the far end is 400 meters. And when this ship is fully laden, it's 20 stories high. And Maersk is taking a big bet that big is indeed beautiful. She's so big she can't get through the Panama Canal, and so deep that she can't get into most ports in the Americas. But that's not her job. This vessel was built to carry 18,000 containers exclusively on the Europe-Asia route, and to do it much more cheaply than its rivals.
Miss, this seat's available.
This is too good to be true.
Hi, John Stamos. Enchanté.
This is too good to be true.
Dan and Oikos non-fat yogurt, delicious yet healthy.
Sounds too good to be true.
There are things that are too good to be true. Such as Dan and Oikos, thick, creamy, with 0% fat and twice the protein of regular low-fat yogurt.
Huh?
I want an Oikos.
Dan and Oikos Greek non-fat yogurt, too delicious to be so nutritious.
Dannon.
Do you, Rob, take Donna to be your wife?
I do.
You got enough insurance for both cars, the right deductibles for these nuptials?
Life comes at you fast.
Is there a nationwide insurance agent in the fellowship? Please, somebody help this brother.
That's why Nationwide Insurance created the On Your Side review. We'll customize your coverage so it's always right for you, plus offer you hundreds of ways to save money.
Dearly beloved, the two are now one nationwide insurance policy.
Oh, hallelujah.
The On Your Side review. It's free, only from Nationwide Insurance.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Would it be more than the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked? Who knows? What we do know is that when it comes to tongue twisters, there may be a new king. Researchers at MIT say they've turned up the toughest tongue twister to twist tie tangled tongues. But unlike other famous phrases that are fun to stumble over, like the top cop saw a cop top or she sells seashells by the seashore, this one doesn't make sense. Pad kid poured curd pulled cold. That's it. Pad kid poured curd pulled cold. Some of the volunteers in the MIT study reportedly couldn't get through it, while others just stopped talking. Totally tongue-tied. A psychologist who worked on the study says its value is in learning how the brain processes and plans speech. And this phrase certainly upsets those plans. But is it hard for everyone? To someone who's paid to talk, like a news reporter, it helps that this phrase is made of words we commonly say. Well, except curd. But it came a lot easier than the seething sea ceaseth, and thus the seething sea sufficeth us, which I practiced and still can't get right. And then there's the Guinness World Record holder for toughest tongue twister, the sixth sick sheik's sixth sheep sick.
The sixth sheep six. Sick.
That one's harder. The sixth sick sheep's sick. Sixth sheep sick.
Yeah, the sheep may recover, but your tongue won't. Compared to these, pad kid poured curd pulled cold seems easy. But if you're the type who's struggled with tongue twisters ever since you first heard kitty caught a kitten in the kitchen, you can always say, cat's got your tongue.